All right, let's talk about the changeup. There's a lot of different ways to throw a changeup. It's something people are consistently asking me about. So let's just kind of dive deep into it. So when people talk about changeup, they're mostly referring to what? The circle change. But we want to talk more about what we mean by this, okay? So circle change, we say, circle this finger right there, kind of the A-OK. But this is more of a way of teaching it than something that actually has some kind of profound effect. So what this does is it gets this finger off of the ball. So if I have my two fingers right here, I consider these my two fastest fingers, then I get this off of the ball. It's not a matter of if it's a circle. There's some guys that have their finger off there. There's some guys that just have it resting right there. There's a lot of different ways to throw it to get this finger off of the ball. Greg Maddux, for example, would just do ring finger, thumb, and then these fingers go wherever. He wasn't as concerned about getting it way off. So circle is really helpful for guys that have bigger hands, in my opinion, and they can kind of tuck it over here, and then this finger, is way off right over there. But for some guys, it doesn't really work, and that's where a lot of guys get into trouble, is they're trying to throw the circle changeup when it's not the right changeup for them. So what are some other changeup grips? There's palm ball right here. Take the fingertips off of the ball, throw it more with your palm. There's a Vulcan changeup just right there. There's, like we talked about, Maddux would just throw a changeup right there. There's different variations of those. You can just throw a Vulcan kind of here, like almost not a full Vulcan splitting it, just kind of right there. This one, works well for me a lot of times. Another thing people talk about is just a split change. Just splitter right there, but they're not trying to get insane movement on it. They're just trying to get a change of speed. Now, let me tell you about another changeup that people don't even talk about at all, but there's a guy in the major leagues that throws this. Basically just a knuckleball, and he throws it and it spins like a fastball, but it just goes way slower. It has way less spin, and it acts as a changeup, has a 40% whiff rate. So that's why I preach the knuckleball, because you can throw knuckleball. If it turns into a bad one, it's just a changeup anyway. And then obviously if it's a good knuckleball, then that's an unhittable pitch. And so those are some different ideas on the changeup as far as grips. As far as release, there's also a bunch of other things to consider. I consider the biggest things to be, we want movement and change of speed, and then how those interact with each other is going to really make it so that you can focus on one or the other. So if you have great change of speed, you might not need any movement. Trevor Hoffman, for example, had his changeup, his palm ball, a lot of times 17 miles an hour slower. He would throw it, it would spin just like a fastball, didn't have to have any movement at all. Some guys throw their changeups only a few miles an hour slower, and it moves a lot, which makes it unhittable. So as far as movement, Devin Williams, he'll be a big time pronator guy right there. And then you can also get movement on a changeup by cutting it, and that seam shifted wake movement. As far as change of speed, it's definitely the grip makes a huge difference. But another thing people talk about is their back foot kind of dragging or staying back, so they're not pushing with their body as much, and that takes away a lot of the speed. So you want to have is obviously as much movement and change of speed as you can, but you can really dial either of those up or down to make your pitch more effective. I hope this is helpful for you guys. If it was, give me a subscribe, and then I'll give you more good information in the next one. Peace.